Welcome, friends and complete internet randoms, to the beginning of Rob's adventure vlog. Family, well, yeah, you're not as welcome, but this is the internet, so can't really do anything about that other than say, yeah, for the most part, screw you. Anyway, for the friends that I mentioned, this is not the beginning of the adventure. However, this is the beginning of the vlog. So for those who know me, you also know I don't go by Rob. I've gone by Bobby. I've never really liked any of the variations on Robert, so we'll see what happens there. The name is actually something I wanted to do as an homage to my RAV4 that I'm currently in and have been in for 8 months now, I think, something like that. It's actually been a really great car to travel in and live in for this time. As much as I prepared for it, I didn't really expect it. But that's where the name came from. RAV, Rob's Adventure Vlog. Very literal person, but I like that little bit of hidden meaning. So, Rob's Adventure Vlog it is. For those who don't know, here's a quick recap on the adventure. And yes, I am videoing my tablet screen. Used to do some videography, so we'll work on it, but this is what's happening for now. Anyway, I started with this red line, left New England, went up to Maine, Montreal, down through Niagara Falls, came back, quick little pit stop in New England, came down this red line, down the Blue Ridge Parkway, visited our friend in Atlanta, came back up to Tennessee, came up the Great Lakes, Minneapolis, went across the Dakotas, Theodore Roosevelt National Park, that's Mount Rushmore, Badlands area, went across to Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, up through Glacier National Park, up through the Canadian Rockies, Banff, Jasper, up to Icefields Parkway, took the Alaska Highway, Alcan Highway, whatever you want to call it. For those who don't know, it pretty much skirts right on the outside of the Rocky Mountains here. So for the most part, the drive is relatively boring. Then you get up here into the Yukon, and that's where I started tracking for real, is when I got to Alaska. I drove up the Dalton Highway, came back down to Fairbanks, Denali, went and visited there, spent a lot of time on the southern coast, and because you can't drive the Dalton Highway all the way to the Arctic Ocean, you can only get about 8 miles away. And you have to pay a tour company to take you to the rest of the way of the ocean, since it's all oil refinery facilities and stuff like that. I decided, well, let's go back into Canada and drive that road all the way up to the Arctic Ocean. That was about 600 miles through the middle of nowhere, 2 ferries, got trapped in a heat wave by fires in the Arctic. It's a whole thing. Great story for a different time, though. Came back down, and I drove all the parts of the British Columbia coast that you can drive to, pretty much. Some great places all on the coast. License plates out here say beautiful British Columbia. My initial reaction was, you pretentious bastards, but they get a pass on that one. It really is beautiful out there, as you can tell by all the driving I did out there. Went down to Washington, hung out with some friends, spent some time down there. Came down across North Dakota, I worked the beet harvest. One of my favorite things is actually this little elephant I ended up drawing in Minnesota. I think that's a fun little tidbit there. Came back down through Wisconsin. A lot of forest roads, a lot of gravel roads, staying off the main interstates, through Michigan, kind of wiggled my way down, made it back out to the East Coast, up and down through New Hampshire, Vermont, back into Maine, spent some time in New England, and now I'm headed down the coast. Came down this purple line, coast of Connecticut, went around the city, spent plenty of time there before. Went through some of New Jersey, Atlantic City, down the coast through Delaware, took the big bridge tunnel deal through to Virginia Beach, took this whole sandbar, barrier, whatever you want to call it, deal. You can drive all the way down here. That little bump is the first ferry, that's free. There's a big bump is the second ferry, that was 15 bucks. But it was pretty neat driving pretty much out in the middle of the ocean there. Now I'm driving across North Carolina, made it to the Raleigh area yesterday, and now I'm stuck, not really stuck, in Greensboro. Unfortunately, for those who know me, the tire, that's been a slow leak for a while now. Turns out it's a nail on the inner bit too close to the sidewall to repair. So I'm gonna have to get that replaced, but luckily they can have it here tomorrow morning at 10ish. So that's what I'm kind of doing, is hanging out in Greensboro and hoping they can get that tire tomorrow morning fixed and back on the road. It was only losing about 1 psi a day, so nothing crazy. Kept pumping it up, just mostly annoying. But figured I'd get it fixed, and unfortunately it's a little too much to fix, which I kind of expected. But they can have it quick, so it's not even really much downtime, so I figured, you know, hey, let's hang out in Greensboro, North Carolina for a little while. At least it's warm. That's definitely a big plus. I'm playing some disc golf on the way down. Played some out here in New Jersey about there, and then some in Delaware about here. Both those were really nice, high-rated, free courses. They were pretty good courses overall from what I could tell. Up in New Jersey, it's fine. I played all 18 holes. Definitely had trouble looking for some discs. In Delaware, though, I only played a couple holes. There was a little bit tougher on the snow, but then there was a lot of thorn bushes, and yeah, my legs are all chewed up from looking for discs in those thorn bushes, and I just decided I better give up before I get really pissed off. But definitely played a couple rounds out in North Carolina now, and it's so much better in the good weather. So hopefully I can get my tire replaced tomorrow morning, get back on the road. Plan's gonna be, there's some disc golf out here that I'm gonna try and hit. This green line was kind of my plan. Gonna go through the Great Smoky areas, Tennessee, head out to northern Alabama. I got a guy I'm gonna hit up while I'm out there. Got a friend in Atlanta, hopefully go see as I'm driving through. Come back out to the coast of South Carolina, go back down that. For the most part, book it down the coast of Florida. I'm gonna try and do mostly the A1A once I get into Florida. A little bit of Orlando here, some good disc golf, a little bit of forest roads and stuff, it looks like. Back to the coast, A1A. Gonna go through Miami all the way down to the Keys, come back through the Everglades, and cut out through here, come back up the Gulf Coast, and pretty much hug the Gulf Coast. Coming across all the way to Louisiana. Then I'm going to head out into Texas, and that's where things were getting a little, not sure what I'm going to do. Originally I was thinking of, originally I was thinking many things, but the original plan was go more kind of this way up through Louisiana and then through the Ozark area, but then I decided swing it a little bit wider, maybe come out to Houston, College Station, and then kind of zigzag through. But then, as I was looking, I've been to Iowa and Nebraska. My car hasn't, so I kind of just want to clip those two. But by the time I do all that, I really didn't have much reason to be doing all this driving back down into Texas, just to drive all the way across to nothing of Texas. So I figured what I think I'm going to do instead is just swing a little bit wider out through Dallas and then come back, hit some of this Louisiana, zigzag through the Ozarks, a little bit wider into Oklahoma, keep swinging in there. Be nice, get me into town a little bit too. Then come up Missouri, through Iowa, Nebraska, and then down into Kansas, and then just shoot over into Colorado, rather than doing all this driving just for a few little things. Go across Texas, and then this is the Big Bend area down here. I figure I'll hit that once I'm back into this magnificently textured landscape that is the West of the United States of America. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Obviously things change. That's why I'm currently sitting in a Planet Fitness parking lot in Greensboro, North Carolina. But it'll be nice to have that tire replaced, not have to worry about pumping it up all the time, and get back on the road confident. Maybe while I'm at it, you know, just kind of chilling in here. Got the front seats, I'm in the back. It's all my little cockpit, couple phones up there. Car's off right now, obviously. I got my window covers in, so those are all Reflectix. I got the moonroof open, a couple USB fans going. I mean, I'm in North Carolina, even though it's the middle of winter. It's definitely still swampy. You know, got my ambient lighting going. All down here. You know, I can stretch my leg out underneath the little desk here, even though it's not totally set up. It's not the worst. Definitely excited to get back west. And again, thanks friends for all your support and everything, and we'll see where the road takes me. I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as this social media stuff goes. You all know I'm not big on social media. I was one of the first people to try and get on Facebook before Facebook even let you on without getting an invite from somebody from your school, so they actually denied me. And now I was one of the first people who want to get off. So getting back on is kind of iffy, but we'll see what happens. I definitely keep getting urged to share my story and all that. Maybe it'll help me, maybe it'll help others. Yeah, there's only one way to find out, as I like to say. So, you know, the other things I like to say is I'll try pretty much anything at least once. So let's find out what this does. I think I'll try and keep to YouTube for some of these longer form, actual vloggy, edited type videos, and maybe, I don't know, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever else, maybe for some, you know, quick little scrolly vertical stuff that people can get. But I'm sure people definitely appreciate some of the detailed stuff as well. And, you know, I'll definitely talk more about how I got here, what I'm doing, because obviously this is a little crazy. But, you know, go big or go home, more or less. So that's it for today. Talk to you tomorrow, maybe the next day. Who knows, but I'll talk to you soon. Take care.